All right. I'm I'm gonna do a NFL tier list update from after the draft, and I think either I might make a video about you know what I changed in this one compared to the other one I did, or you guys could go back and you know do that on your own if you want to, and then let me know down below on this video which one you like better and which one you agree with more. Now, with that being said, here is the list. We are doing SA, B, C, D again. I thought about changing it to the amount of wins a team could do, but I think I'm gonna do that in a separate video. Um, but yeah. Anyways, all right. Let's start with let's start with the Carolina Panthers. Now, they did get Miles Sanders, Von Bell, Hayden Hurst, and Andy Dalton. And then obviously they got Bryce Young and they got what's his name? Mingo, I think his name is. Um yeah, I think they'll be I don't think they'll be trash, but I don't think they'll be like playoff team. But then again, that those South divisions are awful. So I mean, I'm gonna put them C. I think with all the additions and the draft picks that they got, I think they'll be decent. Just not the best. Now, for that same reason, let's go to the Texans. I, they got the number one player in the draft and the number one. I was for me in the draft, the QBs were like a 1A 1B. Um, Bryce Young was better, but I feel like CJ Stroud isn't that far behind. And they came up with CJ Stroud and Will Anderson in the first round. The first was it second and third pick? Yeah. I think I think they're gonna be okay. Again, that division is awful and you know, they they literally got CJ Stroud and Will Anderson and then they went in free agency and got Robert Woods and like Jimmy Ward and let me check here. They also got Sheldon Rankins. That's not bad, but yeah, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay. And they did obviously. I can't remember the other draft picks they got, but they were. If I remember, they were pretty decent. So I feel like they'll be okay. Um. Uh, let's stay in that South, in the AFC South. Excuse me. And we'll go with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I think this is the C might be the whole South because the Colts, they got Anthony Richardson. He'll most likely be the starter. If not, you got Minshew. But I think I would rather have Anthony Richardson, learning as he goes. And you have um, Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. That run game would be pretty good. Um, and they also have Michael Pittman. Like that's gonna be pretty good. And yeah, I wish I remembered all the draft picks. I need to like go back and look, but like man, they got. I forget what round, but I know they got Will Mallory from Miami. I think he'll be a good tight end for them. They got I want to say they got another receiver in Josh Downs. That's what it was. That I feel like he'll be a good fit for that team. Go with Michael Pittman. Whew. All right. Now let's move on to let's go to the Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals are a lost cause, but they also could be good at the same time. It's really weird. They would be B at most. I mean, they got Kyler Murray, they got D Hop still, they have James Conner. The O line's okay. They drafted, traded up, or they traded down, traded back up to 6 to get Paris Johnson to help with that O line, and they also signed Will Hernandez, and then they also got Kelvin Beachum. So they helped that O line, but their defense might take a hit because I mean they lost Byron Murphy. That was probably their best young corner they had, and you know, but we'll see. And I think I'm gonna put them. Uh, let's let's. They're like in between. I think I'm gonna put them B for now. The Falcons. I think I'm gonna put B. Honestly, um, like I really do think they might be better. Um, actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna make a change. I think I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put the. So sorry. Maybe I not. Maybe I won't make the change yet. But Falcons, I think, go up to B after Bijan Robinson because that run game was already good, and then you add Bijan Robinson, the best running back in the draft. My lord, like their future's bright. I mean, they need a quarterback. They got Desmond Ritter. They're gonna see what they have in him this year. But you know, if not, I want to say their backup is Taylor Heineke, which that Taylor Heineke can win you some games. So I mean, they got a good offense. You got Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Cordell Patterson, Caleb Huntley, and Tyler Algier. That run game is insane. And then you add the Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Now I can't remember the other receivers because I know last year they were bad. But I mean, I don't know who they got in the draft. So obviously they could have drafted a receiver, but I still think there would be. Their defense is actually it's not good, but it's not terrible. Like it's all right. All right. Let's go with the Seahawks. Geno Smith had a good year, first time ever. Um, they have Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and they just got JSN. And they got Devin Witherspoon. I think I'm gonna put them B. High B right now. Um yeah, I think they'll be good and their defense is actually pretty decent. Um I wanna say they got a corner in the second round, but I don't think so. I can't remember. I'm gonna say this a million times. I don't know what all these teams got in the later like past the first round or in the later rounds. But yeah. Um, but yeah, I think they're a B. I think they'll be decent. I think they'll go back to the playoffs this year. All right, let's go The Philadelphia Eagles. This is an easy choice right here. They're S tier. They come out in the draft with, I want to say, I can't remember who they got in the third round, but they got Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and they got who was who was projected to be a first round pick at the beginning of the year in Kelly Ringo. To add on to that team that they already had last year, come on, man. That is just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They're going to be so good. And they lost Miles Sanders, yeah, but I want to say they I'm going to look this up. They got Swift. I want to look up their their backups because their backups are pretty good too. Um I think I can't find it, but I know they got Kenneth Gainwell and then Penny from the Seahawks. Like that team is so good. Like, oh my gosh. All right, let's go. The Chiefs. I mean, that's that's an S tier right there. They literally won the Super Bowl, and like every year they just somehow get better. Um, I want to say they okay. So they did lose Orlando Brown Jr. to the Bengals, but then they signed Juwan Taylor. But then they went and but then I want to say like either way, their O line's still good. I want to say they did draft the O line in the later rounds because I know in the first round they got a D end, and obviously their D ends are getting older, and it doesn't hurt to get a younger D end, learn from their vets. All right, let's go to let's go to the Browns. I The Browns are weird. I'm gonna put them B because they're such a weird team. Um, they got Deshaun Watson. Their offense is okay. Like their run game is good. I don't think they get right now. They don't have Kareem Hunt as a backup anymore. I want to say for sure, but they still have Amari Cooper. They still have Anthony Schwartz, and they have um, David Njoku, and they have I don't want to get this wrong. Um, David Bell. Like their receivers aren't the best. Oh, and they also got Elijah Moore. So their offense will be good, but I just don't their defense is yeah, they got Miles Garrett, they got Denzel Ward, but like there's just something missing in that defense that like they just keep giving up a lot of points. But once they get that fixed, I think they'll be good. But yeah, I'll put them B. Now, let's go with the Broncos. I think I put them in C tier last time, but I'm gonna put them in the B tier this time because Russell Wilson got sacked a ton. That offensive line was awful, and the coaching staff was awful. This year they got a new coaching staff. They got a new O line. They went out and signed a bunch of O linemen, and they drafted. Their drafts were pretty good. They got I want to say they got Marvin Mims, who will be a good receiver for them. And they got what's his name? I think it's Riley Moss, the white corner. He's actually He actually looks like a good player. So we'll see how that turns out. But I really do think they'll be uh they'll be good because their defense is always good. For some reason, no matter who the coach is, no matter who's on the defense, they are always a good defense. So yeah, I think they're gonna be. We'll put them up here. We'll put them up here. Yeah, we'll put them right there. I think they'll be a B team. Now, Buffalo Bills. Ah, yay. They're S or A. I know, like, you guys are probably like, oh, they're S tier, and some of you are like, oh, they're A tier. But I'm taking the Dolphins fan aside, pushing that out the way. I'm just being in a like a football fan right now. I want to say they're an A tier only because their run game is not good and their offensive line is not that great. Yeah, they got Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, but like, oh yeah, and they drafted Dalton Kincaid, the best tight end, and they had Dawson Knox. But yeah, their offense is good. Their defense is solid, not bad, but their run game and O line is not good. That's the reason why I would put them A tier. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that right now. But it could change. It could change. Now, Bengals. I would put them S tier because they always, the last 2 years, they've gone to the AFC Championship game. Now, if this was 2 years ago, they would be S tier. I think I'm gonna put them A tier only for the fact that they lost half their defense. They lost. Let me see if I can find this. They lost Jesse Bates, Von Bell, both their safeties. They lost Hayden Hurst and Samaji Perine. Samaji Perine is now the backup to Javante Williams. That all that run game's gonna be good. Anyways, back to the Bengals. Their defense is hurting really bad. Their corners are not like their corners aren't the best, but like they're solid, and they just lost their safeties. Yeah, they have that sophomore in uh I'm drawing a blank, but they drafted him last year, and like I don't know, man. I just don't think it's good enough to keep up with the good offenses. Um, yes, I think they're gonna be B. Now, let's go to the Cowboys. A tier. They're always a good team. Defense is good. Their defense is solid. Um, they always make the playoffs. No matter what, they always make the playoffs. Their offense is good, depending on Dak Prescott. Tony Pollard's a dog. I They got Deuce Vaughn in the drafts. Um, and then they got CeeDee Lamb, and honestly, off the top of my head, I can't tell you the other ones, the other receivers. And then I don't know who their tight end is since they lost. They lost. Shoot, what's his name? I don't know. Dalton Schultz. He went to the Texans. And then they drafted Mozzie Smith in the draft. So like, I don't know. All right, the Chicago Bears. Um, C tier. Um, it's the defense for me. It really is. It's the defense. Um, you know what? I think they could. You know what? I'm gonna put. I want to put them. They're another team that's in the middle. Same with the Falcons. People think they're gonna be like, you know, number one in the division or number two in the division. Nah, they're still gonna be number three in the division, possibly fourth. Um, you have to deal with the Vikings and the Lions, who both got better. Yeah, Justin Fields is good. He is, but offensive line, mm, offensive line is not that great. They lost David Montgomery. I don't know who their running back is right now. Um, they did get Darnell Wright though, and their defense is good. Their defense is solid after they signed Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards, and they drafted some guys. But I think, man, I think I'm gonna. I just don't. I still don't see them winning games. I don't know why. I just don't. Maybe it's because it's the Bears and they usually suck, but I don't know. I just don't see them winning a bunch of games. Uh, but if we're going strictly off like the roster, I think I have to put them B. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Now Lions B. I mean, Jared Goff had an amazing year last year. They got Jameer Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell. Their draft was good. I mean, they got a lot of heat about the Jameer Gibbs at 12, but he wouldn't have been at the other spots at the next, like at their next draft. So, um, yeah, I just feel like they're a B team, and they're like the defense is coming up. That was the main issue last year, and they did lose Jeff Okuda, which, speaking of, went to the Falcons. But yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't see them winning the division, honestly. I see them coming second. Um, but yeah, I feel like um I think they'll be good though. I think they'll be a really fun team to watch. Um, let's just finish the North off. Let's go Packers. I want to say C tier, but I really do think they'll be okay. Um, like it's the Packers. Last year they had a 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers at QB, and I'm pretty sure they were more like run heavy, but they also threw like play actions, all that. Um, but they were still decent. They went, I think, 8-9, barely missed the playoffs. Jordan Love, yeah, he's hasn't played in what is this, his fourth year in the NFL now. Um, um, let's. I'm gonna put the Vikings here, but I'm gonna finish talking about the Packers and talk about the Vikings. I think with the drafts they had, and they literally went and got two of the top tight ends in Kraft and Musgrave. Musgrave, is that how you say it? I don't know, something like that. Um, and they got Lucas Van Ness. Um, yeah, the Packers defense is another team that's usually has a good defense. So I think, um, let me put this how I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be that right there. Um, but yeah, I think they'll be okay. Like they're not gonna be terrible, but they're not gonna be amazing as well. I'm putting the Falcons C because I think all of those teams are gonna be better than the Falcons. Um, Jaguars A. I I think they're an A because um like Trevor Lawrence was good. Travis Etienne's good. They got Calvin Ridley. They got Christian Kirk, and I don't know who I don't know if the third is still Zay Jones or not. Um but then they have Evan Ingram. The O line's pretty solid. Defense is solid. Like I think they're a really good team, and they could make. They're gonna. I feel like they could make the playoffs again. Now, I think we're about to get the first D tier team, and I I think it's got to be the Rams. You know, the only no, I can't do it. I can't do it. They're C tier. I cannot put them D tier. They still got Stafford. They still got Cup. They still got Aaron Donald. The defense. I don't think they're gonna even come close to making the playoffs, but they will win games. They won't be like 5 and whatever, 6 and whatever. I think they'll win 7 games, which is like okay. I think they'll win 6 or 7 games. Um, yeah, they're deep. You know what? I take that back. The defensive line is good. Secondary, nah, nah, because well, let's just go to obviously my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins, baby. You know, we got Devon Achane in the fourth round. No, third round. Cam Smith in the second round. You got Javon Holland, Christian Wilkins, Jalen Phillips, Jalen Ramsey. Thank you, Rams, for fleecing your ass. Um, you know, David Long Jr., Jerome Baker. Um, you know, like I could go on and on. Like Xavier Howard, like Brandon Jones. I could keep going. And then you got on the offense. Let me just tell you, the speed demons. Well, first, the captain, Tua Tagovailoa. Running backs, you got Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Devon Achane. Then receivers, you got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Braxton Berrios, Cedric Wilson, Chosen Anderson. And tight end, who the fuck cares who the tight end is? It's Eric Sauber, who's going to be good. You got Elijah Higgins, who's turning into a tight end, which I think he'll make the roster and be a pretty solid receiver slash tight end for us. You got Durham Smythe still. Like I really do think this is the year that we go to the playoffs, depending on Tua. I will admit that depends on Tua's health and if the fucking right tackle can hold a block. Austin Jackson. Now, I, for that reason, I'm putting them up here because the Bills beat us last year twice in a row, but we beat them the first time. But oh man, blame it on the Heat. Um, we had to deal with the snow last time. The last two games against them. So, um, yeah, I think this is the year that we could, depending on Tua's health, we could win 8 games or we could win 13. It depends on Tua. If Tua doesn't stay healthy, we probably win 8 games, 8 or 9 games. If Tua stays healthy, we could win 12 or 13. Now let's go to the Patriots. I want to put them D tier so bad, but they are C. I don't think I'm gonna have a D tier. I don't think I'm gonna have that because there's not a lot of teams I think. Oh man, they're terrible. Like maybe the Raiders because they were awful and they have Adams and Jacobs and their defense is terrible. You know, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't care. They're awful. Um, I could. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Chargers A tier. I want to say A tier. Yeah, 31-0. That's all I gotta say. They were good. Justin Herbert literally had, I want to say, about the same numbers as Justin Fields did. And the difference is Justin Fields had one of the worst receiving cores, and Justin Herbert had one of the best. He puts up numbers, but it just doesn't. They just don't win a lot of games. Um, the defense is solid though. Um, but yeah, I think A tier is fair. Baltimore Ravens. They got Lamar back. They got OBJ. They got Zay Flowers, and they got I always forget his name. Um, Rashad Bateman. That's it. I always forget. I always confuse him and Prost for some reason. Anyways, I think they're gonna be B tier. I could put them A tier. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put them A tier because their defense is still pretty solid, still pretty good, and they got Lamar back this year. Again, he's another thing of like if he stays healthy, he's played less games than Tua. Um, he played less games than Tua the last 2 years. But if he stays healthy and he plays, they are A tier and they could make the playoffs. It's a fight for the 1 seed in the North. Um, the Saints, Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, Jarvis Landry. Is is Michael Thomas still on the team? I think he is. And then you got Chris Olave, and then they just got Foster Moreau after Denver traded for Adam Troutman. I could see them being D tier, but I'm gonna put them very low C. I mean, it's Derek Carr. They literally, he's, I don't know, man. He's good and he's bad. He literally had a good offense last year. He literally had Jacobs and Devontae Adams, and they won 5 games. I don't understand. But, they're C tier. Jets, A tier. They got Rodgers. I don't think he's going to be like the one that pushes them into the playoffs, into the deep in the playoffs. I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs, honestly. But defense is good. He brought the Packers receivers core and 30 just old man Cobb basically. Al Nazard, and then you had Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I mean, and Brees Hall's back, and who's tight end's still Conklin, I think. Like, yeah, I mean they're good, but I don't see them being better than the Dolphins and the Bills. I really don't. All right, the Giants. Ooh, this is hard because this is hard. Last year they just became good after getting Brian Daboll, but um I don't I don't know if I see them going to the playoffs again, but then yeah, I don't know if I see them going to the playoffs again. I think I think I'm gonna put them B. I think I'm gonna put them B. Um, just for the fact that they did make the playoffs last year, and I want to say they got. I'm gonna check and make sure. Yeah, they got Deontay Banks and Bobby Okereke or Okereke, something like that. But yeah, they didn't lose anybody. It's about the same team plus their draft picks. Corners got a little bit better. I can't remember who the safeties are, but that might be their weakness. Yeah, I can see them being a B team. Commanders, this might be another D tier. Your quarterback is Sam Howell. That's all I gotta say. Like the defense is eh, and Chase Young can't stay on the field. You wasted a second overall pick on him, or third overall pick, whatever. No, second overall pick, and he can't stay healthy. And Sam Howell's the quarterback. Scary Terry, I feel bad for Scary Terry. He can't get a QB to a good QB, but you know, but you got Brian Robinson Jr. and Antonio Gibson. The O line, I don't know about the O line. I really don't. But there's a reason that you know they're they tried to get Andrew Luck out of retirement. Like, come on, D tier for me. Now the Titans. God, I want to put them D tier. I'm gonna put C tier. Still got Henry. If they got rid of Henry, they would be D tier instantly. But you still got Henry. You still got uh that's probably the only positive of that offense. Ryan Tannehill is not that good. They got Will Levis, who's basically Ryan Tannehill, and you got um whoever the other guy is, can't remember Willis, Malik Willis, who's awful. There's a reason they got Will Levis. He might not even make the team. Malik Willis might not even make the team because they normally don't have three quarterbacks, and they ain't gonna let Will Levis go? Because they literally spent a second round pick on him. So, anyways, yeah, I just don't. They're not a good team at all. Put them D. I wanted to put them C because that division's it's ridiculous how bad it is. But you got the Colts, got better. Texans got better. Who else is in that South? I'm having them. Oh, the Jaguars. They're better. It's their division now. I think Titans fall. They suck this year, and they get a high pick. Now, Niners, always good. S tier. Defense, amazing. Offense, amazing. QB, have no idea who it is. Think it's either gonna be Brock Purdy again, since he was good at the end of the year when he came in, or it's gonna be Trey Lance. Um, Trey Lance was. I mean, when he got a chance, he wasn't the best, but he did get hurt this year. So I think they'll. I don't know. Either way, like it doesn't matter who the QB is. They they are always good because that team is just that good. They literally went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's like, come on. Buccaneers C tier. Like that division's awful. Like I just don't see them winning. Like who's the quarterback? Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker Mayfield literally there's a reason why he went on 3 teams in 1 year. So, yeah. It was 2 or 3 teams in 1 year. Like I I don't think they were going to be good. Like the defense is okay, pretty solid. Um, but that offense is really hurting with Baker. Like he could be okay with that offense, but I just don't see them winning a bunch of games. Again, they could be a 6 win team, 7 at the most because of how bad that division is. But I see them winning about I see them winning about 5 to 7, or actually I say 4 to 7. But yeah. And then we're gonna wrap it up with the Steelers. A nice B tier. Steelers have never had a losing season. Um, Wait, did they have one last year? I'm gonna look this up now. They were 9-8. No, they didn't. And their defense lost a couple guys, but I could see them winning 8 or 9 games again. I really do. Um, they helped their offensive line a little bit with I forget who they drafted. It was a tackle though. I think it was Broderick Jones. That's who it was. And yeah, I could see them winning 8 or 9 games again. All right, I think this wraps it up. Let me know you know how you think I did. Let me know what you would change. Who would you know who would you switch between C and D or B C? Anything like that. And let me know which tier list you like better, this one or the last one I did. but I have a feeling this one's gonna be better, in my opinion. I feel like this one's more fair. I feel like this looks more right than the last one I did. I will be honest about that. Um, I could move. I mean, the only thing I could do is move the Bears down, or maybe, yeah, I could move the Bears down. But I really think they'll be better than those other teams that are below them. But you know, all right. Well, let me know how I did. Let me know how, like I said, what you would change. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram, and everything that you should follow me on will be in the description. And yeah, be on the lookout for the next video.